Hey everyone, how you guys going? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm sharing my chest and shoulders workout that I did last week. This is the exact routine that I'm currently doing, so I just wanted to go ahead and share this with you. So this is great for those people who really want to work on their upper bodies, really want to work on their chest area to improve the chest appearance, and of course, for those who want wider shoulders and altogether want to work on strengthening their upper body. Anyways, I started with this bench press as my first exercise. This is a compound lift, requires a lot of strength, and this is one of the exercises where I really want to develop my strength. So that's why I decided to do this as my first exercise, so that I could use all of my fresh energy, my fresh body to push the max weight that I could, right? So of course, whenever I do these kind of big lifts, I always make sure that my body is of course warmed up. So I did my cycling, a little bit of walking, did my mobility routine. So make sure you always doing that. And of course, before starting this exercise as well, I did about 2 warm-up sets just with the bar, because the bar itself is just 20 kgs, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing a good warm-up before you do any kind of heavy lift. So that is exactly what I've done. And then I did about, I think, 3 to 4 sets of my 3 to 4 working sets. Now anyways, you will see in this exercise that my starting position is where I'm arching my back. Right now a lot of people question about this arching, whether arching is the right way to do it or having the flat back on the bench is the right way to do it. Both the variations are absolutely right and safe to do so, right? It's absolutely your choice which one you want to go with. In my personal case, because my goal is to move a little bit more weight and get stronger in my chest muscles, creating that arch definitely helps me do so, because I'm able to pull my shoulders backwards and dig my shoulder blades in the bench, and of course squeeze those shoulder blades together to have a bit more stability in my upper body whilst performing that lift, which means I'm able to engage with the muscle a little bit more, right? As long as you're able to engage with your chest muscles, as long as you're able to do the exercise correctly and feel it in the right muscles, that's what's important, right? I did 3 sets of 8 reps, and then with the 4th set I increased the weight because I wanted to test for myself and see how much I would be able to do, how many reps I would be able to do with this heavy set, and I think I could only do about 4, and that's when the weight kind of collapsed on me. And that's okay, these kind of things happen. It's not a failed attempt, it just gave me an idea that okay, this is the next weight that I need to challenge myself for, and currently I'm able to do about 4 repetitions, right? So the idea now is that I keep on increasing the repetitions, keep on challenging myself from there on. So anyways, the second exercise then was my shoulder press. So again, a push movement. Now when you have done such a big lift as your first exercise, it becomes a little difficult when you do the second exercise and third exercise, because of course the muscles are getting exhausted. So I decided to just do the bar for shoulder press, but I decided to increase the weight in my next set, and that is when then I aimed for about 8 to 10 reps, and I did about 3 sets for this exercise as well, right? So basically the idea is that in each set you can try and increase the weight, and if you're increasing the weight, it's okay to reduce the reps a little bit, right? So if your goal was to hit 10 reps and if you've increased a new weight, then even if you reach about 7 or 8 reps with that new weight, that is absolutely fine. And then in the next session you can then aim to do 1 extra rep, and in the session after you can aim to do another extra rep, right? So that you can then hit your 10 repetitions with the new weight, right? So that's basically what the idea is. So I tried here again in my final set, I tried to increase the weight a little bit more, and then you will see that a leg bouncing happening a little bit as well, which kind of helped me push that weight up a little bit more. So these are a few things that you can do to help amp up that weight a little bit, and then of course then the idea becomes that you make that new lift nice and clean before you progress with more weights, right? Third exercise was my chest flies. So again, fantastic exercise. If your goal is to develop your chest, doing all sorts of these variations is very, very important. With this exercise, the idea is, a lot of people say that they feel a lot of tension in their biceps. You should not be feeling anything in your biceps, but majorly what the idea is that you want to make sure that when you are flying upwards, you're using your chest muscles, which in that section where your chest muscle fibers come and attach with your front of the shoulder section, right in that area is where you want to use or put all the tension to fly those weights back up, right? And when you do that, all the tension will move away from your biceps. Again with the bench as well, now again, all those people who train at home, it becomes difficult to have the inclination happening. So recommendation would be, if you can invest in a bench or if you have access to the gym, definitely do that. If not, then that's fine as well. Make sure that you're doing chest flies on the floor, chest presses on the floor, but have all these different variations going on so that you can hit all the different parts of your chest muscles, right? I superset these chest flies with these rear delt face pulls. Now, of course, your deltoids, your shoulders basically have three kind of, sections. You have front shoulders, you have, your rear shoulders, and of course, you have your lateral ones, right? So, this particular exercise, face pulls, is majorly to engage with the back shoulders, right? The rear delt. Little bump that you see at the back of my, where my shoulder attaches my back, that little bump, these are your rear delts, right? So, this exercise is, I would recommend, do with lightweight and focus more towards engaging with the muscle, because it does get a little tricky to actually engage with the right muscle. So lift light, do a little bit higher reps. Next exercise was my lateral raises. So of course, these ones are hitting more of your lateral shoulders, the outer side of the shoulders. With this one, I decided to do drop sets, right? So I just dropped the weight one time, and I challenged myself that way, right? So these are different ways of supersetting, drop set. These are different ways of challenging yourself. So if you're not ready to increase the weight, then you can kind of challenge yourself with the weights that you already have. So I lifted the first weight. I did, I think, 7 or 8, or I think about 8 repetitions. And then I dropped those quickly, lifted a slightly lighter weight, and then I'd aimed to do another 8 or 10 repetitions. Next exercise was my front raises. Again, this is a variation where you kind of in an inclined position instead of just standing straight. So it definitely makes this exercise a tad bit more challenging, plus a different angle of you raising your arms forward. So this one is hitting more of your front shoulders, right? So basically you will see that I'm really targeting my shoulders here. I did my fronts, I did my lateral shoulders, I did my rear shoulders, and then of course your shoulder presses kind of hits majorly all your front and side heads and things like that. And then I targeted my chest muscles as well, your chest exercise, and whenever you do a chest exercise, the front shoulders are also getting targeted, right? So basically I exhausted my shoulders and chest here, and then at the end I decided to just do some inclined push-ups, and I just aimed for as many reps as possible. I was so exhausted by this time that I literally could only do about 6 or 8, and I ended up doing about 4 or 5 sets for that, just to really challenge myself. So there you go, guys. That was the workout for today. Definitely try this out and let me know in the comments below how you enjoyed it. And on that note, stay fit, stay fierce, and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.